If you're new to InvestEngine, or even if you've been using the platform for a while, there are some hidden features you might not know about that will make your investing experience that little bit better. InvestEngine's mobile and desktop app are both streamlined and easy to understand, but that doesn't mean that you can't use them in much more depth. It's important to note that nothing we say in this video is investment advice or a recommendation. We are not financial advisors and we are affiliates of InvestEngine, though we're always 100% honest in everything we say. Your capital is always at risk when investing. Let's start off with something very simple: savings plans. A savings plan allows you to set up automatic ongoing investments into specific portfolios. You can do this by selecting the portfolio and clicking here where it says savings plan. Now you can choose how often you'd like to invest, be it weekly, every 2 weeks, or every month, and then how much you'd like to invest each time. All you need to do is agree to the terms and conditions around allowing them to initiate deposits from your designated bank account, and then it's set up and ready to go. You won't need to do anything else. InvestEngine will deposit and invest the money into your selected portfolio on your behalf. InvestEngine usually have a minimum investment amount of £100, but when using their savings plan feature, you can invest with as little as £20 a week if you choose the weekly or fortnightly option. If you select monthly, the minimum investment does go up to £50, but it's still less than if you were to make a one-off order. The fact that InvestEngine allows you to buy fractional shares as well means that regardless of whether you invest £20 a week or £2,000 a month, your entire investment amount will be invested into your chosen assets. If a platform doesn't allow fractional shares, then you have to buy whole units of shares, and you'll have money left over sitting in your account, not put into the market like you probably planned. For our next tip, if you click onto a specific portfolio, you'll be able to see this analytical breakdown. However, you can actually view portfolio analytics across all of your InvestEngine portfolios in one place. On desktop, this is easy to find. Just click Analytics at the top and it will show you all portfolios by default. But if you use the mobile app, it's a little more hidden. From your dashboard, if you click the 4 squares in the bottom right, you'll see the option of Analytics here. And when you click through, you can filter by all portfolios, or you can choose a specific one to look at. Within these analytics, you have 4 different sections that break down the regions you're covering and how much of your investments are allocated to each one by percentage. Then you can look at the different market sectors, and again, this breaks things down by percentages, but also by the type of investment it is. So it'll show you any equities, bonds, or alternatives like commodities that you own. Under the Holdings tab, you can see the total amount of securities you currently own, and again, a percentage breakdown of how much of your investment is in each specific company or asset. You can even further filter this down by region and sector here as well. Finally, Asset Class shows you a more concise view of the Sectors tab in terms of what type of assets you're investing in. You can use this feature to easily work out your total exposure across all of your portfolios. Another helpful feature that you probably didn't know about is their portfolio management option, which allows you to either reorder or completely hide a portfolio from your dashboard. To do this, you need to press and hold on the portfolio that you want to alter, and you'll see a list of options pop up. If you have money currently held in the portfolio, you won't be able to hide it, but say you set one up before and have since moved your investments into something else, this gives you a quick and easy way to declutter your dashboard or see what you want to see first. InvestEngine offers a wide range of filters you can use to narrow down their ETF range, but you might not be fully using these filters to their full potential, because there are 2 different ways you can narrow down options, and they'll show you different results. Within the regular investment filter, you have 4 options: Sort, Asset Class, Provider, and more. Sort allows you to order the ETFs from high to low, either on the fees you'll pay for investing into them, or what percentage of dividends they've yielded, and this one is nice and easy to use. You can use the Asset Class filter to only look at certain types of assets. So if you only wanted to invest into ETFs that focused on shares, you have that option. But you can also filter by bonds and alternatives like commodities as well. If you only like investing into funds issued by certain providers, then the provider filter allows you to select as many or as few providers as you'd like, so you only see funds that they offer. And under the More tab, you can find things like accumulating versus distributing filters, currency hedged options, ESG funds, and more. However, there is a completely different way to filter as well, using the collections and industries and sectors options. You'll find collections below the filters we've just discussed. Within collections, you can narrow down specific types of funds really easily, so global funds, thematic funds, dividend-focused funds, emerging markets, actively managed, and more. And below collections, you'll find industries and sectors. This part is broken down by, as you can imagine, the industry or sector that each ETF focuses on, so things like technology, finance, and healthcare. And both this section and their collections contain the full set of filters we've just looked at the top when you click through to them. So this allows you to filter within filters, which is a bit of a bonus tip. If you want to immerse yourself in the world of finance a little more, you can easily do this by using the links at the top of your InvestEngine dashboard. These links can give you insights into current affairs that might affect your investments, tips for investing, or helpful information to know as you manage your money. Some of the links are to articles that you can read, and some are in video format, and these help you stay clued up on what's going on in the world from an investing standpoint. When creating your portfolio using InvestEngine, you can choose the weightings of each asset in the portfolio. For a simplified example, you might want to put 80% of your money into one fund and 20% into another. However, if you want to change these weightings at a later date, or if a certain asset increases or decreases in value significantly, making your weightings change from what you had originally intended, it's really simple to get a portfolio back on track with the one-click rebalancing feature. Inside the portfolio you want to amend, if you click Options, you can scroll down to rebalance portfolio holdings, and it will tell you exactly how it's going to rebalance your portfolio so it resets to the weightings that you'd like. When you rebalance your portfolio, it will sell and buy some of your assets to line things back up again. And if you wanted to change the weightings of your portfolio before rebalancing, you can select the Edit Portfolio button just above it here and decide how you'd like your weightings to be set. This makes it really simple to keep your portfolio on track and make any changes to it if needed. But do be aware that you will likely incur a tiny fee when you do this via differences in the bid-ask spread, as you are buying and selling the instruments, so rebalancing frequently is probably not encouraged. Even indexes themselves typically only rebalance every quarter or twice a year. One way you can gain further insight into your InvestEngine account is through their report generator feature. If you click on the 4 squares option at the bottom, you can then go to reports and see all of the existing reports that have been generated on your account, and you can even filter these by report type and time frame. But if you want to create your own report, you can go over to this tab, and here you'll get to choose between a wide range of available reports that you can generate. So whether it's a full account overview, a cash statement, or a fee schedule, you can gain valuable insight into your account using this tool. And a lot of people don't even know it's there. You can even generate reports based on how much capital gains tax you might owe. Just up from the report generator tool is your transaction history, and this will show you all of the times you've deposited, bought an instrument, or any orders that have been placed but haven't gone through yet. These can be filtered by top-ups, withdrawals, buy and sells, dividend income, and fees and transfers, so there are lots of ways you can narrow this down to only see the information that you're interested in. But that's not the only way you can filter them down. You also have the options to filter by time frame, by a specific portfolio, and even by a specific ETF, so that you can only see the purchases and sales of that one asset, even if it's inside a portfolio that invests into multiple ETFs at once. Within each ETF on InvestEngine's platform, you can find an in-depth breakdown of what's being invested into and the regions that you cover. If you click into a fund, you'll see all of the analytics showing you how well it's performing and all the info you could ever need. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll find the ETF breakdown section, and here you'll get 3 tabs to view: holdings, regions, and sectors. And you actually have the ability to filter each ETF based on the region, allowing you to see the companies and their weightings within the fund. For example, in the Invesco FTSE All World ETF, I can filter the ETF breakdown by setting the region to the UK, and now I can see all of the UK companies that are being invested into, and what percentage of the fund they make up. 2 options you have at your disposal that some people might not know about are the Show Net Contributions and Buy and Sell Events toggle. If you turn Show Net Contributions on, which you'll find just under the investment return graph here, it will add a line onto your graph to show you how much you've invested into the portfolio compared to its returns. The buy and sell events toggle will then add a little dot onto your line graph showing you where you placed a buy or sell order. So as you invest over the years, this graph will slowly fill up with loads of dots showing you exactly where you made the investments. Once you've chosen your investments and decided how they'll be weighted, InvestEngine's Smart Order feature allows you to invest into all of the assets at the set weightings with one simple investment. As a really simple example, say you have 2 investments inside a portfolio and they're both set to 50% weightings each. You can invest £100 in one go, and this money will be split evenly between both ETFs without you having to manually invest into each of them. This also works the same when selling, so if you want to withdraw £100, you can take that out as a lump sum and the portfolio will automatically sell the assets at the weightings you've set, so it stays as balanced as possible. These smart orders also help to minimize delays when investing and reduce transaction costs by bundling trades together into one big transaction, so you're not paying multiple bid-ask spreads on each purchase. We have a really helpful broker comparison tool that you can use to compare all of the cheapest platforms to invest with, so I'll leave a link to that in the description down below.